Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another counter-side video. Alright, so global launch is coming really soon, maybe in a couple of hours. I have no idea what the official time zones are. I'm not good at calculating time zone, but I know it's somewhere today. It could be like 8 to 10 hours from now. So I just want to make a quick guide for ships. So I know this is something that get asked a lot by players because players are concerned about ships in regards to, you know, in counter-side, you have characters, you have awakened characters, you have gears, and then there's ships, right? It gets very confusing. So let's talk about ships in general. What are their purpose? What are they used for? Now, ship only has one purpose in the game. They are basically your HP base. Alright, just imagine that if you destroy the enemy's base or the enemy's ship, you win the battle. Alright, if they destroy your base, your ship, they win the battle. Alright, so basically most ships, you need to level them up to be able to give you deployment cost as well. So they are the one that gives you or affects the cost in the game. So the deployment costs are how you can deploy your characters. Different character has different deployment cost value. Now most ships, if I'm not mistaken, if you never level them up, they will start with 7 deployment costs. So you gotta level them up to level 100 to reach 10 deployment costs at the beginning of the battle. Now every ship in the game has 3 ability, unless they are lower rarity. Like if you're talking about SSR ships, they have 3 ability. But if a ship is, for example, like a SR or an R, you can see if this is a dark ship that you get from an event, it only has a passive skill. So what the passive skill does is you can upgrade this, and every at max level, it will give everyone's HP increased by 18%. Can you guys see that? Or my face cam is blocking? No, it's not blocking, which is good. Awesome. So let's talk about SSR ships because that will be the main focus of today's video. Now, in terms of SSR ships, something that I get asked a lot is which ship should you prioritize as a new player? So that is going to be something that's really interesting. I've made this video 1 year ago and I still think it's pretty relevant. I'm gonna say Enterprise right here is gonna be one of your best first SSR ship. Now here's why. This ship does a lot of things in PvE that a lot of other ships can't really do. And in terms of setting up firepower, it does a lot. So let's look at this ship, give you guys an idea. So this ship, number 1, is going to be able to increase ally counters and max attack plus 12% and hit plus 25%. So you can see it's good for counters, it's good for max. If you guys are not aware, there are 3 categories of units in the game. So there's counters. Alright, for example, now how you want to tell, you can tell by the name right there, under the rarity, above the rarity rather. If you look at Ifrit right here, Ifrit is a mech, right? So counter mech, and then there's soldiers. So for example, Veronica right here, she is a soldier. So you can easily tell like certain characters are going to pair better with certain ships, obviously, right? So Enterprise is going to be a very good ship for beginners because a lot of beginners, you know, especially in PvE, most stages you will be building counter units. So counter units are going to be very good with this ship. So you can see the second active skill right here. Alright, so this one basically enemies lose 50% of their evasion for 8 seconds and also it sucks them in and deal a lot of damage. And the active skill or the ultimate skill for this ship is what makes this ship super good. It will fire basically a laser beam and the target lose 30% of their attack and 30% of defense for 8 seconds. So losing both attack and defense is just insane. It makes it one of the best PvE ships. Like you can argue that even till today, the game has been out in KR for like what, 2 years, right? two and a half years. Even till today, this ship is still one of the best PvE ships out there. It hasn't been power crap yet. So definitely building for Enterprise is going to be your best bet. However, there's an issue right here. Enterprise can only be accessible once you reach chapter 5 of the story. So if you guys are not aware, I believe the game is launching with 5 episodes of the story, right? So you get episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, and episode 5. You don't get episode 6 and 7 in global yet. So here's the thing. Episode 5 is going to be quite a long way. I don't think you can reach episode 5 in just 1 day. You might need to play the game for like, depending on how long you grind, maybe 2 to 3 weeks tops, depending on how fast you can grind, right? So the strategy here, you're gonna have one more ship which is going to be like a selector for you, an SR ship selector. So this is an old video that I make back then for the SR ship selector in C server. So you can get it by unlocking a second branch. Alright, so all you need to do is unlock a second branch, just spend some gold, and then it's one of these beginners quests that you can do, and this will, you get to choose 2 different ships from this particular selector. You get Abraham or Gleipnir. Both Abraham and Gleipnir, they were very even back then. Alright, this was in C server, which was 1 year ago, but right now, if you are playing on global, I don't think you should be picking Abraham anymore because Abraham gets outclassed by Coffin 6 later on. Abraham is strictly a max ship. Like I mentioned, once Coffin 6 come out, nobody uses this ship anymore. Alright, so what it does, as you can see, it recovers ally and max HP by 3% per second. Alright, this one hits stuns and damage ground enemies. And the last skill, it heals max in the area. So it's very good pair with Titan, obviously, but you know, with how fast global is gonna get the acceleration, I think you're gonna get Coffin 6 within like 3 months. So I don't think you want to pick something and 3 months later you're not gonna be able to use it. So in C server, this makes sense because it took us about, I don't know, about half a year, more than half a year before we get Coffin 6. So there's a little bit of, there's definitely more value right there in picking Abraham. So regardless, I would say most players are going to pick Gleipnir. Alright, this is the ship you want to go for. Gleipnir, just think of it as an inferior enterprise. Alright, it's a good ship for counters. As you can see, it increased counters attack by 15%. Alright, this one, it hits stuns enemies. And the last skill, it just shoots like a laser beam. But there's no debuff. I would say for new players, for the SR ship selector, pick Gleipnir. Build this ship, max it out to level 100. Here's the thing about ships, right? If you are free to play, eventually you'll be able to build all the ship. Alright? So that's just the thing. You will be able to build all the ship in the game because there's not enough ships coming out that you can't have enough materials to build all of them. But for characters like for regular characters, SSR characters or awakened units, because they are constantly being released, so it's hard for you to collect all of them. But ship is very easy to collect all of them. I've been playing the game for 1 year and I can easily build all the ship. So ship materials can be purchased right here in the specifically called the dive shop, right? These are the ship materials. You can buy all of these. As you can see, it's gated weekly. So different materials for different ship, right? So there's armored ship, there's auxiliary ships, assault ships. So for enterprise will be using this particular material, which is the heavy covering. So I would advise, you know, if you are building like an armored ship, don't build too many same type, right? That's going to affect, you know, a lot of your materials in general early on. Now, what's the advantage of having multiple ships? Mostly just for PvP. Alright, so in PvP, you know, it's very natural for some ships to get banned. For example, let me show you guys this week's PvP in a C server. As you can see, in terms of the banned ship, you can see quite a number of ships are banned. So Lake Superior is banned 2, Coffin 6 is banned 1, Blue Bridge Mark 2 is banned 1, Albion is banned 1. So you can see if you only have 1 or 2 ships, it's harder for you to play in PvP because if that ship is banned, you're gonna have your attack, HP and skill haste reduced by 20% for band 1, 40% for band 2, which is a lot. Alright, you're gonna have that disadvantage, and once your ship is destroyed, you lose the game. Now, a lot of players have been asking me, hey GuitarRock, what's the best 3 ships that you should build? In my honest opinion, I really think Enterprise should be your first ship because this ship gives a lot of value. It's so easy to set up. Now, second is going to be probably New Ohio. Now, New Ohio is a very good PvP ship. It's so annoying. Alright, it has the ability to silence another ship or anyone from releasing any skills. So this ability is just so annoying. You know, you can basically aim it in the round ball shaped area, and whichever target that's within the area will be silenced and will not be able to cast any spells during duration. Even the ships, you can silence enemy ship, which is so insane. Obviously, if you don't know how to fight against New Ohio, it's going to be really annoying. So I think this is one of the better ships for you to be able to build, but probably not as good as the next ship, which is New Detroit. So I think this would be, I really like this ship. It pairs so well with a lot of units, right? It's just a crazy powerful PvP ship and also very good in PvE and danger close as well. The reason why it's good in danger close because of the ability right here. Again, ultimate skill is going to reduce enemies defense by 50% for 12 seconds. Alright, and it increased ally strikers attack and attack speed by, you know, 20% and 15%. This ship actually have been buffed once, which is quite interesting. So yeah, it's definitely a very, very good ship. But the condition to build New Detroit is you have to build New Ohio first. You can't build New Detroit straight away. So that's the condition. So I do think that this should be your first 3 ships to build. Enterprise, New Ohio, and New Detroit. And then afterwards, depending on how fast the global rush is, you might want to consider saving for Blue Bridge Mark II. Now, Blue Bridge Mark II is definitely one of the better ships out there. I think it's as comparable with Enterprise, but I doubt you'll be getting it early on in the global server. So I think you might have to wait for a couple of months. So these 3 that I mentioned would be the first 3 ships that I recommend building for SSR. Now notice, conveniently, all 3 of them doesn't use the same material. Alright, Enterprise is an armored ship, right? New Ohio is an assault ship, and New Detroit is a cruiser. So they will not share the same materials. So I do think that recommending these 3 to players is going to be the ideal case. Some people might say Lake Superior. The problem with Lake Superior is an armored ship as well. So it's competing with Enterprise. I don't think as a new player, you're going to have a limited resource of the heavy covering which is needed to build an armored ship, you know? So I don't think you can afford to build Enterprise and Lake Superior. And I think Enterprise is just too good to pass. So that's just like a general advice to everyone out there. Obviously, eventually once you've been playing for a couple of months, yes, you are going to like branch out and build more ships. But the first 3 ships, I think is going to be these 3. Again, this is just my recommendation. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys agree or disagree in the comment section below. So yeah, with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll make a guide for operators next. I think I want to make a guide as soon as I can because I'm a bit worried that global players might be full to pull for them. So definitely expect that coming soon, hopefully before the global server launch as well. So if you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, give this video a like. And again, feel free to leave in the comment section below what kind of guides would you guys prefer to see. Have a nice day. Goodbye.